Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain Retrieval-Augmented Generation or RAG. I have seen this take down production, AI systems, and most teams get it wrong because a standard LLM is only as good as its training data, and the moment your company's data changes, your AI becomes outdated. RAG is the architecture that solves this by giving your AI access to your real-time private data. And you know why this matters? Because without RAG, your AI is essentially a guess machine that doesn't know your business. This is the definitive guide to understanding how to bridge the gap between static model knowledge and dynamic company data. Let us get into it. We are going to start by identifying exactly why your models fail on private data, then move into the architectural mechanics of RAG. Specifically, that includes setting up your environment, mapping the data flow, and writing production code for a vector-based retrieval system. We will also cover why most teams fail when they try to implement this, and how to decide if RAG is actually the right tool for your specific use case. These are the topics we are going to cover in this video. So do not skip ahead. Watch all the way through to actually understand this properly. Quick note, before we dive in, this channel shares practical IT tutorials daily. So if that is useful to you, hit subscribe and join our WhatsApp community linked in the description for more resources. So what is the real problem here? Think about it. You train a model on the entire internet up to a certain date. Great. But then you ask it about your company's specific product manual published yesterday. The model has never seen that document. It tries to be helpful, so it makes up plausible sounding nonsense based on generic product knowledge. This is a massive liability. If you are building a bot to help your staff and it gives them the wrong instructions for a dangerous chemical handling procedure, that is a failure. Without a way to feed it current, verified facts, your AI is a liability. So what is RAG really? It stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Imagine you are taking a test on a subject you have never studied. If you try to guess, you will fail. But if the teacher gives you a textbook and says, find the answer in chapter 3, you can give an accurate, cited response. That is RAG. The model is the student. The textbook is your company's private data, and the retrieval process is the act of opening to the right page before answering. Before we write a single line of code, let us ensure your environment is ready. First, you need a Linux-based environment. If you are on Windows, use the Windows subsystem for Linux, which is the industry standard for production. AI development. You must have Python version 3.10 or higher installed. You can check this by running the Python command with the version flag. If you are missing it, install it from the official site. You also need an API key from a provider like OpenAI or a local inference server like Llama if you are running models on-premise. Finally, make sure you know how to open your terminal. On Ubuntu, use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-Alt-T. On Windows, open the Start menu, type Terminal, and press Enter. Let us move to the architecture. Now let us look at the internal architecture. There are two major steps. The first is indexing. You take your massive pile of PDFs and text files, slice them into small, manageable chunks, and turn them into long lists of numbers called embeddings. These represent the semantic meaning. You store these in a specialized tool called a vector database. The second part is retrieval. When a user asks a question, we turn that question into a vector too. We search the database for chunks that are mathematically similar to the question. We grab those top matches and dump them into the LLM as extra context. The LLM then uses those specific facts to generate a high-quality answer. This way, the model isn't relying on memory. It's relying on the data you provided. First, we create a project directory to keep our files organized. We then initialize a Python virtual environment. This is absolutely critical to avoid dependency conflicts on your system. Once the environment is active, we install our core libraries. We are using ChromaDB as our vector database because it is lightweight and perfect for local development. We also install LangChain, which is the framework that glues everything together, and the OpenAI client to handle our model requests. Run these commands in your terminal exactly as shown to set up your workspace. To verify that everything installed correctly, we use the piplist command piped into grep to filter the results. You should see the exact versions shown on screen. If you see an error or missing packages, double check that your virtual environment was activated correctly. Once you see these versions, your environment is ready for the core implementation. Let us walk through the core logic. On lines 5 and 6, we initialize our vector store client and create a collection. Think of a collection as a table in a database. On lines 9 through 12, we manually add one document. This is the indexing phase. We are telling the database that this specific sentence represents our company policy. Finally, on lines 15 and 16, we perform a query. We ask a natural language question. The database compares that question to our stored document. If the math works out, it returns the document as a relevant match. This is the most basic form of RAG. When you run this script, the system should print the document we added. This confirms that the vector search successfully mapped the question, "Can I work from home on Friday?" to the facts stored in the database. This is a massive success. It means we have successfully retrieved relevant context. In a real production environment, you don't manually add strings. You use loaders. Here, we load a file called company policy. We use a recursive character text splitter. This is critical. If your document is 50 pages long, you cannot feed it into the model all at once. You must split it into smaller, overlapping chunks so you don't lose context at the boundaries. Then we create a persistent store, saving the database to a directory on disk rather than keeping it in memory. This ensures your data survives when the script stops. This is the pattern you would use in a production application. This output shows that our production pipeline correctly parsed the file, indexed it, and retrieved the specific holiday policy. This is exactly the kind of reliable data retrieval you need for an enterprise chatbot. So what happens when things go wrong? A common error is the rate limit error. This happens because you are sending thousands of documents to the embedding model at once without any rate limiting. The API provider blocks your account. This is usually caused by poor chunking strategies that end up making too many API calls. The fix is to implement a throttle. We use the time library to introduce a half-second delay between processing each chunk. This ensures we stay within the API limits while still getting our data indexed reliably. It is simple, but it saves your production pipeline from failing. Consider this. A logistics company was overwhelmed with support tickets during the holiday season. Agents were manually searching through PDFs to find specific customs regulations for different countries. It was slow and prone to error. By building a RAG pipeline that indexed all those manuals, the agents could just ask the chatbot. The response time dropped from 15 minutes down to 2 seconds. Think about the impact. That is a 40% improvement in throughput, which saved them thousands of dollars and significantly reduced agent burnout during their busiest time of the year. So, should you use RAG? If your data changes every single day, like inventory levels or support tickets, RAG is the only way to go. It also gives you citations, which is huge for compliance. However, do not over-engineer. If your document is just one page of static text, just paste it into the system prompt. And if you need the model to sound like a specific pirate character, RAG won't help you there. That requires fine-tuning. Pick the right tool for the job. Use these criteria to decide if this tool is right for your situation. You now know the core architecture of RAG. Remember that chunking is the most important step for maintaining context. Always use a vector database to make searching fast and accurate. Never forget to rate limit your ingestion process to keep your API account healthy. And finally, remember that RAG provides the facts, while fine-tuning controls the behavior. These points will keep you from making the same mistakes most teams make when starting out. If you found this video helpful and you think it can help others in the community too, please do like and hype the video. It helps more people find this content. Hit subscribe to stay updated for our regular videos. Join our WhatsApp community using the link in the description where we share more practical IT resources daily. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. These are the core concepts to carry forward from this video. If you found this video helpful and you think it can help others in the community too, please do like and hype the video. It helps more people find this content. Hit subscribe to stay updated for our regular videos. Join our WhatsApp community using the link in the description where we share more practical IT resources daily. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.